today I'm going to show you how to replace your tires by yourself. And the tools we're going to be using is a tire machine. So basically I'm going to show you how to repair or fix a tire using a tire machine. So let's do it. The tools you're going to need is a jack stand, and a 4-way. So once you got these tools, you're good to go, and we can discuss the other ones once we get to the tire machine. First thing you want to do is take your jack and jack up the car. Now, to jack up the car, you can just go ahead, get up under here, and look for the mark. Usually, it's a frame under here, or it's a pinch wheel. So if you don't know what that is, I'm going to show you an easy way to just jack up a car. All cars nowadays, they have a mark on the side, which identifies the location to jack up the car. So you just look for it down here, and it's right here. So it's like a little triangle, right? And it shows you the area to where you can lift up the car. I don't know if it might be too dark. Oh, there it goes. So right here is a safe area to lift up the car. All right. So you just take your jack, get up under there, and lift it up. But make sure it's safely secure. See, there we go. Make sure it's safely secure on that mark right there. So once it's on there, you start jacking it up just a few so it can come off the ground a hair. All right. Take your 4-way next and start to unloosen the nuts on the tire. So you got 4 different sizes on here. You got a 22, you got a 19, you got a 21, and you have a 17. Today, we're going to be using a 22 because these are big tires and they have big lug nuts. So take it right here, sit it in place. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. So turn like that and break it. If it's too much, you don't want to hurt your back or nothing like that. This is another trick. Just put one foot here, put your hand here, and now you're going to press with your leg, all right? So use your leg to press down while you pull up with your arm, and it should come off. All right, if that don't work, just jump on it, bro. Damn, my foot's slipping. Yep, that ain't working. All right, sometimes if it's tough like that, just go to the next lug nut. Because if the other one might break off, then you can go back to that one. Just like that one. So now we're going back to the jack and lifting the car all the way up until the tire is off of the ground. Okay, so the tire is off of the ground, so it's good to go. We can just press it up against there, right there. Don't scratch up the paint, all right? So now what we're gonna do is loosen up the lug nuts 100%. Take them off. Now you can just take the wheel off, just like that. So now that we have the wheel off, we want to get our jack stand, which is this right here. We're going to take our jack stand and sit it up under the car on the frame itself or a solid piece, so that way we can support the car. Even though the jack is supporting the car, you always want to have a secondary measure for supporting the car. So it's a frame piece right here. I'm just setting the jack right there. Just like that. We good to go. So now we're going to take our wheel, roll it over to the tire machine. This is where we're going to talk about the other tools we're going to need. So over here, we're going to need a valve core remover. So what this does is takes out the valve, well actually the core that's inside the stem valve right here, right? So you take this little piece here, you see where it's cut out right here. This is the part we're gonna use. So take this, sit it in the inside, and then lefty loosey, righty tighty. So as you unloosen it, put your hand over it so that way the stem in the inside, or the valve in the inside, doesn't shoot out and you don't lose it. Just like this. You see, and hear all the air pressure coming out? So imagine this thing just shooting right out. Now you can't find it because it's super small. So now you're letting the air come out. So you take it and you just sit it in your, your holder here, just like that. Now we're good to go with that. That's the only thing you need as far as the extra tools. The machine is going to do the rest. So now we're just waiting for the air to come out of the tire. That way we can disassemble it from the rim itself and then install the new wheel. The air is all the way out of the tire, so it's pretty much flat. You see, it's flat. So now we just come to the tire machine, set it in between the arm, all right, and the tire machine itself. And then now we're about to actually pop the bead of the tire. The bead of the tire is going along the actual rim itself. That's pretty much the spot of the tire that actually connects to the rim itself, so that way it doesn't come off. Now with the tire machine itself, this one right here, I'm about to walk you through the steps. So if you come over here, you got 3 pedals down here. One is for the clamp, so that's for this right here. The second one is for the pop the bead, and the last one is to rotate the tire. So right now, I'm about to press the second one to pop the bead. So you sit it right here. Make sure you do not damage the rim. And it pops. So you do it all the way around. Now on newer cars, they have a TPMS sensor right here. You do not want to pop the bead right there. This is a TPMS sensor on the back side of here. So right here is a sensor that tells you how much air you have in your tire. If you pop it right here with the arm, you will damage the sensor. So do not do that. Pop it everywhere but here. So this is a safe zone. Everywhere here is a safe zone. Here is a no-go. Do not do it. So you turn around on the back side and you do the same thing. Alright, so at this point, after you pop the bead, you just simply push the clamps, open them up, take the tire, lift it up, and set it in place. Alright, so you want to make sure it's in place. You can look up under there. So they will actually be hugging the bottom side of the rim. Alright, so then go ahead, press the button so it can lock in place, just like that. And for a good test, you gotta put it back up here. For a good test, you just pull on the rim to make sure it's secure. Alright, so we're good to go. Now the last button is for rotation. So now what we're about to do is take our spoon, come over to the tire, rotate it, and we're going to put our arm right here over the sensor so that way we don't damage it. So make sure it's up under the arm. The sensor right here is now up under the arm. So then you take your spoon, go in between the arm and the tire, and just pry it up. Make sure it's down on each side. Pry it up just like that. And just press the rotate button. So now the tire is coming off. Lift it up. And then you're good to go. So now on this side, you actually want to, when you're taking the bottom part of the tire off, you actually want the sensor on the opposite side of the arm. So before it was underneath. Second time you want it on the opposite side. That way you don't damage it. Now you lift it up like that. Make sure the tire is underneath this dip on the arm here. Take your spoon, go all the way down. Make sure the spoon catch the bottom. So the bottom of the tire, lift it up. Just walk it up. Press it down again. And just press the rotate button. And now the tire is actually coming off. And you're not damaging the sensor. So unlock it, swing it out the way. And now you actually successfully dismounted the tire using a tire machine. All right, so here's another tip. So in the winter time in Michigan, tires like to deflate, right? So before you put the new ones on, just is a good rule of thumb to just clean up all this right here. This right here is this bead sealer, this black stuff. So you can clean it up. If you don't have anything to clean this up, you can use white chalk. Just rub it all the way around. So this is the bottom side. If you flip the rim over, you do it on this side too, all right? So why would you do that? Well, the reason you're gonna do that is to make sure you have a good seal with the new tire and the rim itself. That way you don't have any leaks, right? You don't keep losing air pressure. So that's a good thing to do. Make sure you do that. Either put some bead sealer right there, clean it up, put bead sealer right there, or if you don't have all that stuff, just use some white chalk, rub it all the way across, top and bottom, and then put your new tire on it. So this is the old one. Take your spoon, sit it to the side, and now you can prepare yourself to put the new tire on. So you just grab it just like that, you bring it over, kick it up, and you're good to go. So now, certain tires, they have directions on both sides that says inside and outside. This one here is not one of those tires, so you can put it on either way. Some people like to have, all the letters on the other side, or it doesn't matter really. So this side, it doesn't matter, so I'm just put it on how I put it on. So what you want to do is line it up, all right? Put the tire right there. You go put it just like this. Just lean it up against the rim, all right? Bring your arm back in, press it down, and press it up against the rim right here. We can use this lever to lock it. And now that we have that, look at the position of the tire sensor. The tire sensor is on the opposite side, all right? So the tire sensor is on the opposite side of the arm. So that way we can protect it, we don't damage it when we install the new tire. So now that we have that, we just lift it up, lift up the new tire on the side of the arm, just like this, so it's kind of on an angle. So that way when we go to rotate it, the tire can turn and go onto the rim. So now we just press the rotate button on the machine. We got the bottom part on there, so now we got to get the top part on there. So what we're going to do is the same thing we did earlier. Make sure we have the sensor underneath the arm, so that way when a tire is going onto the rim, we're not damaging the sensor. So go ahead and make sure the arm is locked in place, lift it up, and get it back on that angle so we can press it down and just turn it onto the rim. So we're going to do that right now. Now we got the rim on there. We just use the pedal, turn, get it on there. So you just unlock it, get this out the way. So now the tire itself is on there. Turn the bead over to that side. The valve stem over to that side. Make sure you got air pressure. So you take it, put it on there, and you're going to blow it up. But before you do that, make sure you unclamp it. All right. Put it back, then reclamp it so the tire is secure. Just like that. Then now we're going to blow up the tire. We're going to put air in it. So I'm going to just show you how to do it because it's going to be loud. I got to cut the compressor on, but I might do a voiceover. All right, so now that we got the tire on there, we're about to blow it up. I already got some air in the system now. So you just lift it up a little bit. Make sure you get the tire covering the, what's the name? All right, so now the tire is actually inflating. So now, don't be scared. You're going to hear two pops. It's going to be one from the bottom, one from the top. Don't be scared. It's cool. It's supposed to happen. So once that's done, you go ahead and take it out. Take your valve stem, put it back in the tool that you was using. Make sure you sit it in like this. Now keep in mind you got to do it fast because there's going to be air coming out. Hold this firm so it don't move. Put it in here and then start tightening it. Tighten it to the right so it can be tight, right? Then take the air, put it back on, and just set it to the recommended pressure, like 35, 32, whatever. Set it to 35 PSI. You good to go. Put the cap on, take it off. You know what I'm saying? Unloose the clamps, take it off. Take the rim off, and you're good to go. Just put it back on the car the same way you took it off.